This episode finds us going fishing, watching bears doing some fishing, watching fish fly, going to Cooper Landing, swinging by Soldotna, and finally making it to Homer.
Life is a winding road.
From Seward, we made our way to Cooper Landing in the Kenai River. We found a spot at Cooper Creek Campground and headed to the local brewery.
Cooper Landing. Cheers to 50 weeks, our 100th stop.
Cooper Landing Brewing had great beer and even a beer for Stormy. We thoroughly enjoyed their brew, food, and outdoor area.
Okay, here we go. Our first fresh catch of the day.
Which we think is cod.
We don't.
No, it's way too fat for the halibut, and it's very flaky, so it's cod.
Yeah, so go ahead. So I just did some lemon juice, thyme, a little black truffle salt, garlic. Yeah, I'm really good with 16 pounds of this and halibut.
Even though it's been frozen because it was just caught like 2 days ago. It's still delicious.
So good. Yum! What is it? Are you drinking a beer? So get your new waders on, eh?
On fishing.
While Kelly and Stormy went back to sleep for a bit, I headed to the river that was already busy with fishermen. Sportsman's Landing even has a ferry that allows fishermen to fish from both sides of the Kenai, in part because one side is prone to visits from the local grizzly population, like this guy just down the river. We were fishing, and he was fishing, so neither of us bothered the other. Caught our limit today. After getting dirty on the river, it was time for a shower.
So we were able to find this place on iOverlander. Showers. So it's $6 for 10 minutes. Looks pretty clean. It's a nice shower head. These are the criteria that we always check. And this place even gives you a bath mat. And I should have added that this is Wild Man's General Store in Cooper Landing.
Having a rather compact shower and a wet head, it's always a treat to luxuriate in a real shower once in a while.
It's been a little while. Happy to be back out on the trail. We were doing the Russian River Falls Trail in Chugach National Forest.
Instead of fishing today.
Instead of fishing, taking a break so Jason's shoulders can recover.
The freezer's full.
Yeah, but we're headed to the falls and hopefully we'll see not only salmon, but also some bear.
We watched as the salmon gathered at the base of the falls, then became flying fish as they flipped and jumped their way up. As others tried to just swim against the whitewater.
No bears for us.
We're bearless.
Bearless, but lots of salmon jumping.
We did see signs of bear, just no close encounters that day.
Tonight we're going for some fancy s'mores.
And puppy cuddles for the boy. The following day we moved a short ways down the road to Soldotna. Sometimes part of the adventure is waiting in line to dump your tanks. We found a site at Swiftwater Park and Campground.
One Oliver here. I spy another Oliver over there. So the nice thing about this place is just a short walk from our campsite is river access. So that's where Jay came out this morning. And hopefully tomorrow morning he'll have good luck as well.
After fishing, we headed to Kenai River Brewing Company, where the beer was decent and the outdoor area was spectacular. Flat Stormy made a rare appearance, then we headed down the road to St. Elias Brewing Company. They had a smaller outdoor area.
Cutest little outdoor area.
But their beer and food were terrific. Next day was a big shopping day. So with our little Honda 2000, we're not able to run the air conditioner, use the microwave necessarily, or even fully charge the batteries at 150 amps. This, the new EU3200, is just a little bit bigger, and it's supposed to be able to allow us to do any of those things.
And you've had your eye on this for over a year.
Yes. So here we are in Soldotna, Alaska, and they had one in stock randomly, and I was tired of having to deal with the hassle of the undersized Honda. So now we have this one.
Exciting! Ta-da! So pretty.
Then we headed further down the Kenai Peninsula.
Nestled into the cutest little spotted halibut campground. Right across from the water.
We were just a stone's throw from Cook Inlet. Things are done differently here, and we got to check out the tractor boat launch.
That's how you launch and recover boats in Alaska.
That's insanely cool.
Yeah.
Stormy put together his personals ad. He enjoys walks on the beach, wind in his hair, and collecting seashells by the seashore. And Kelly enjoys playing with squirting seaweed. And we all enjoyed watching the kite surfers.
Those 30-foot tides. Crazy.
The next day we were back on the road and headed for Homer. We arrived too early to check in, so stopped at an inclusive and accepting brewery, Grace Ridge Brewing. We enjoyed a couple pints of good beer and Pika Pika Bento food truck. We're having gyoza dumplings and a couple of banh mi sandwiches.
Look at how beautiful. Oh my goodness. When you get the perfect bite of just a freshness and heat and tender pork, phenomenal.
Then we made our way to our beachfront site in Homer Spit, but things aren't always easy on the road. We got to Homer and plugged in the Oliver, and immediately it tripped the breaker for the inverter, and the inverter panel was kicking a 20 code, which means communication error. So now I'm going in and trying to fix the Xantrex. Oliver, if you're watching, you really need to change over to Victron. You have far less problems. But for now, I just have to struggle with the Xantrex. It's been doing this a little bit, so I've had to reformat a thumb drive that we had floating around, FAT32, and now I'm trying to get the firmware updated on the Xantrex inverter charger and on the Xantrex remote panel, thinking that maybe there's a miscommunication between them that's causing this.
Well, and when you looked at the version, they weren't aligned anyway to begin with.
The versions were not aligned and they weren't current, so I don't know if there's been updates since we picked it up in February, or they just missed updating and making it so both of them could speak together properly. We seem to have no problems with it for the first couple thousand miles, but now all of a sudden we're having a lot of problems, and no loose wires, nothing I could find like that. So really starting to become at a loss, and it doesn't really work very well for the big purpose of spending the extra money for the big battery package and the inverter packages, so we can use things like the microwave or AC without having to use a generator. If the update worked, it should be done now.
Troubleshooting continues.
Good thing I was an electronics technician.
What do you think, Stormy?
I don't like Daddy frustrated.
The updates help, but didn't fully solve the problem. With the sun low in the sky, we called it a night. Homer's a great little community known for its fishing.
You know it's a busy harbor when they have a 4-lane boat launch.
Along the multi-use trail is the Nick Dudiak Fishing Lagoon. Stormy likes watching fishing almost as much as he enjoys eating the fish. On this day, the silvers were jumping more than biting. This didn't seem to be a problem for the commercial fishermen unloading their catch at the fish factory. Homer is also an eclectic town. Check out this creative beachside bungalow. Then there's the Salty Dog Saloon, but it's not dog friendly. Some areas of the path are lined with beautiful flowers, and along it are breathtaking views into Ketchimack Bay State Park.
So what are we eating?
We think we're having halibut tacos.
We just had tacos a couple nights ago, but more of Jason's fresh caught fish, some tacos.
Either we've been eating cod and now we're having halibut, or we've been eating halibut and now we're having cod.
We don't know.
I'm pretty sure that this is the halibut.
It's going to be delicious. Almost forgot the most important part. Lime
Fish?
crema.
Oh. The new day started with a walk along the beach, then it was time for fun.
Happy birthday.
So it's a little bit chilly here in Homer, but it's never too cold for gelato.
And we haven't had lunch yet, but we opted for coffee and gelato.
Pre-lunch dessert. First dessert. Spending my birthday panning for gold. And taking a submarine ride with Stormy. Then we headed down the boardwalk to Swell Taco for lunch.
To your birthday. So you got the ceviche and the halibut taco, and I did a street corn and halibut taco.
The ceviche looks beautiful. It's delicious. Kelly's digging into that corn. It's good. It's swell.
So lunch would not be complete with a stop ahead.
C-sweet.
We got some chocolate bars, which we got cayenne pepper, spruce tips, and fennel. Very excited to try all these made locally, and
Some maple glazed donuts. Stormy's stretching to make room.
all of that fresh donut crunch. Yeah.
Those are delightful. Then we went for a stroll to walk off lunch. So Homer is my type of place. Boats, 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 and glaciers, glaciers, glaciers.
Not a one for one, but pretty spectacular.
And then I found what I wanted for my birthday, or maybe our next adventure. And back at the Nick Dudiak Lagoon, people were having a little more luck, and Stormy was getting excited. And to wrap up my birthday, we went to Finn's Wood-Fired Pizza, where we got the delicious blue pear pizza. With Kelly working, I headed to the old part of town for breakfast. Wild Honey in Homer, Alaska, the creperie. Not only did they have delicious crepes, they also had beautiful baked goods. And the outside had a funky arch made of floats and fenders. That day at the lagoon, they opened snagging season.
And this is snagging. You're literally just snagging their side. Wait for the school to swim by, and everybody goes crazy throwing their lines in. 3 people hooked.
Apparently it works pretty well. People were catching their limit left and right.
All you gotta do is get a hook in its side. And this is what you use for snagging coho salmon.
AKA silvers. I didn't get an opportunity to try my luck with snagging, but this wouldn't be the last time we were in Homer. Who says you can't fit a tow behind in a couple of parking spots? Just took 4 of them. Safeway in Homer. Then we headed back up the Kenai Peninsula with Lake Clark National Park and Preserve in the background, before arriving back in Cooper Landing for some new adventures. But first, we followed some other Oliver owners up the Sterling Highway.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.